In the quiet expanse of the galaxy, far beyond the core, where the elder civilizations thrived in serene and calculated splendor, there was a region known as the Fringe. This was the place where exploration and chaos met, where the untamed wilds of the universe clashed with the carefully ordered realms of the Galactic Council. It was here that a desperate signal emerged, tearing through subspace like a scream in the dark. The Galactic SOS beacon was ancient technology, predating even the founding of the Council. Designed to transcend time and distance, its purpose was singular: to summon help. When activated, it would broadcast its signal to every known corner of the galaxy, ensuring that someone, anyone, would hear and respond. But in the countless millennia of its existence, it had rarely been used. The implication of an SOS was dire. It meant that an entire civilization or a cornerstone of the galaxy's stability was at risk of annihilation. The source of this particular distress signal was a small, unremarkable planet on the edge of the Fringe. Its name was Erythra, a minor colony world barely significant enough to be listed in the Galactic Council's star charts. Its population was a mix of settlers, merchants, and adventurers who had ventured to the farthest reaches in search of opportunity. But now, Erythra was silent, save for the relentless broadcast of the SOS. The Council convened in emergency session within hours of the signal's detection. The circular chamber of the Galactic Assembly was a hive of activity, with representatives from hundreds of species deliberating in an intricate dance of diplomacy and rhetoric. Each species had its own unique perspective, shaped by its history, biology, and culture. The elder races, long accustomed to their positions of power, argued for caution. The younger, more impulsive species pushed for immediate action. In the end, it was the collective weight of uncertainty that forced the Council's hand. A reconnaissance fleet would be dispatched to investigate. The fleet that departed for Erythra was a marvel of engineering. Ships from dozens of civilizations joined together in a show of unity and purpose. At the helm was Admiral Kales Vorn, a veteran of countless skirmishes and a tactician of unparalleled renown. Vorn's flagship, the Luminous Dawn, led the way, its sleek hull bristling with weaponry and sensors. The journey through the Fringe was fraught with danger. Uncharted star systems, rogue asteroid fields, and the ever-present threat of pirates tested the fleet's resolve. But nothing could have prepared them for what awaited at Erythra. The planet was shrouded in an unnatural darkness, a void that defied the light of its own sun. As the fleet approached, their instruments went haywire, readings fluctuating wildly. It was as if reality itself was being twisted. And then they saw it, a massive structure orbiting the planet, its design alien beyond comprehension. It pulsed with a malevolent energy, radiating a sense of dread that even the most hardened among them could not ignore. Initial scans revealed that the structure was not a single entity, but a conglomeration of smaller constructs, each one emitting its own unique signal. The fleet's scientists worked tirelessly to decode these signals, piecing together fragments of a terrifying puzzle. The structure was a weapon, an ancient relic from a forgotten war. Its activation had triggered the SOS beacon, a final cry for help from a civilization that had long since vanished. As the fleet deliberated their next move, a new development sent shockwaves through their ranks. The structure began to stir, its components shifting and aligning with an eerie precision. Energy readings spiked to unprecedented levels, and a massive burst of light erupted from its core, illuminating the void. When the light faded, the fleet found themselves surrounded. Dozens of ships, each one more menacing than the last, emerged from the shadows. These were the Deathworlders. Deathworlders were the stuff of legend, whispered about in the darkest corners of the galaxy. They hailed from planets so hostile that survival was a constant battle. Their physiology was adapted to endure extremes that would annihilate most life forms. Their technology was brutal, designed not for elegance, but for sheer, unrelenting power. And now, they were here, answering the SOS in their own way. The leader of the Deathworlders was a figure known only as Commander Seraph. Clad in armor that seemed to shift and shimmer, Sereth was a towering presence, exuding an aura of both authority and menace. Through a series of tense communications, Sereth made it clear that the Deathworlders had no intention of standing down. The structure was a threat to the galaxy, and they would do whatever it took to neutralize it. For the fleet, this presented a dilemma. The Deathworlders were as much a danger as the weapon they sought to destroy. As negotiations faltered, the structure unleashed its fury. Beams of energy lanced out, cutting through the void with surgical precision. Ships disintegrated in an instant, their crews vaporized before they could scream. The fleet and the Deathworlders had no choice but to work together, their combined might barely enough to hold the line. Battles raged across the system, each clash a symphony of destruction. The skies above Erythra burned with the fury of 1,000 suns. Amid the chaos, Admiral Vorn and Commander Sereth devised a plan. The structure's core, the source of its power, had to be destroyed. But to reach it would require a coordinated assault, a level of trust that neither side was prepared to give. Yet, with no other options, they forged an uneasy alliance. The Luminous Dawn and Sereth's flagship, the Oblivion's Edge, spearheaded the attack, their weapons carving a path through the enemy. Inside the structure, a team of specialists worked tirelessly to breach its defenses. They were an eclectic mix of species, each chosen for their unique abilities. There was Kara, the Zentari hacker whose neural implants allowed her to interface with any technology. Relk, a Braskarian engineer whose strength and ingenuity were unmatched. And Talon, a human soldier whose resilience and adaptability had earned the grudging respect of even the Deathworlders. Together, they navigated the labyrinthine corridors of the structure, their every step a battle against time and the unknown.
The core was a sight to behold, a swirling vortex of energy, contained within a crystalline sphere. It pulsed with an otherworldly light, its power both mesmerizing and terrifying. As the team worked to disable it, the structure fought back, deploying automated defenses that tested their every limit. Kara's implants overloaded as she hacked into the core systems, her body convulsing with the strain. Relk's massive frame bore the brunt of the assault, his armor cracking under the relentless barrage. And Talon, bloodied and battered, held the line with a determination that defied logic. In the end, it was a desperate gambit that sealed their victory. Kara's final act was to overload the core's containment field, setting off a chain reaction that would destroy the structure. The team barely escaped, their ship racing away as the core imploded, taking the weapon and its horrors with it. The explosion was a supernova in miniature, its light visible for parsecs. In the aftermath, the fleet and the Deathworlders parted ways, their alliance a fleeting moment of unity in a galaxy divided. The Council declared the mission a success, hailing the fleet as heroes. But those who had been there knew the truth. The cost had been staggering, and the threat was far from over. The activation of the structure had sent ripples through the galaxy, awakening forces that had lain dormant for eons. As Admiral Vorn returned to the core worlds, his thoughts were heavy with the knowledge that this was only the beginning. And in the shadows, Commander Sereth prepared for the battles yet to come. The Deathworlders had tasted the fury of the galaxy's ancient past, and they would be ready for whatever came next.